folder? Like, can you
Yeah.
help? Like I don't even know what they did.
And it's interesting because most the younger crowd, the kids, they well, if they're if they're raised by people like us, they all have Macs. But if not, in school they use Chromebooks, and
Right.
Chromebooks are closer to a Mac in terms of it's on, it works, right? As opposed to a PC where you're waiting for everything to load. And so it's kind of interesting. I know all you PC people are going to now yell at me and say, no, they're not like that anymore. They're really great. Yes, but I
Awesome.
don't know how to do it. And I'm very happy sticking with my Mac.
Exactly. So I knew it wasn't the computer. I was pretty sure it wasn't the internet connection, but I'm still checking wires anyway because I'm like,
Yeah.
you just never know when things are going to go astray. So
Yeah, and every day there's new tech, right? So, I got a USB hub. It's a charging hub, so it's got a USB-C, but you can actually plug it in, so there's power. So I'm trying different things to, we use a lot when we have our mics. I had to record, so I had to make sure my mic was powered up, and my camera's not actually working. This is my Mac camera.
oh, no problem. That's
Yeah.
good.
So,
Well,
but
I
there's
think
so
that's the
many.
thing. Those hubs need to be very powerful now
Yeah.
because it's not just we plug in our laptop and we go to work. We plug in our laptop, we plug in our light, we plug in our camera, we plug in our
Yeah.
microphone, we plug in our external USB if we're, needing
Yeah.
more files or whatever the case is. We're plugging in an
Yeah.
extra monitor. Like, I can't do anything more. Mine is full.
Yeah. Mine too. So I actually have connections to connections, but
Yeah,
and hope for the
exactly.
best. And then at least I figured out sometimes that's what you have to do, right? You have to do all this stuff to figure out that my webcam really isn't working well. So so I can, now that I had a new USB hub, a USB-C hub, to try it out and realize it still doesn't work well. It keeps shutting down. So this afternoon, when we do our online networking and our mastermind, I will be at the studio. So I'll check out my camera there and see if it's the Mac or if it's the camera. It can't be the Mac. So it must be the camera.
Well, obviously. Although
Obviously.
now that I go fuzzy, I'm like,
Oh.
it's definitely the camera. But
Yeah.
mine's very old, as is yours. And as we know in the world of today, technology, equipment, whatever it is, it's not made to last. Right? If you think about appliances from the 50s,
Yeah.
some of them
They're
still
amazing.
work today.
Yeah. My dishwasher.
Your dishwasher is a prime example. I
Yeah.
will have a funeral for your dishwasher.
I
It is
know.
the best dishwasher and it is old as the hills.
So old, old, old. It's
But
so,
technology like webcams, that kind of stuff, they're made, it's inexpensive to buy, but that means you're going to have to replace it probably every few years.
yeah. And so, I mean,
They're just not
with
made.
that, I think just a public service announcement. We go through a lot of the USB hubs. They're the dongles. They're the ones that you plug into your computer and then you plug all your peripheral stuff in as
Yeah.
well. And they die a lot. And so what we found is we both agree that Anchor on Amazon is by far the best in terms of dongles. For some reason, they don't burn out. The other ones do. So you can tell they're more money, right?
Yep. But they're worth it.
Um, but worth it. So, for example, you can pick up one for like $20, or you can pick up an Anchor for 100, but the Anchor will last you. So, if you are looking, it's the same thing with the webcams. I mean, we've tried a million webcams. Logitech is still the one that we go to every time because the 922 X and anything above that are 1080 or now 4K. Those are all really good. And Logitech is reliable and it works. And is it more money? Yes, but worth it in the end. So this camera I've had, I don't know, maybe like 10 years. Seriously.
Well, I mean, if you do the math,
Yeah.
if you spend $100 and it lasts 5 years, or you spend 50 and it lasts 2.5 and you buy it again, you're
Yeah.
spending the same amount of money. So I would rather spend the 100, get a good one, not saying
Yeah.
that that's how much it is. I'm just making up numbers.
Well, it's, yeah, and you just check it. Like I checked the other day when I was buying this one, I checked, and I was going to buy another one, and I put it in my cart and I forgot. And it was like $89, and the next day it was $129. And it's fascinating how prices fluctuate all the time. I was also looking at the monitors that we have. We like these Samsung monitors,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not lying. Last week I was looking. I don't need another one, but it came up in my feed.
Come on, we always need another monitor.
It was like, I think it was like I don't know, $289 or something. It was on sale, and I was like, that's a great deal. And then it came up again in my feed yesterday, and now it's $629. The same monitor, same model, nothing's changed. And I looked at, so for those of you who don't have a little app called Honey, you should plug that into your Chrome extension, because Honey tells you the price change on all the Amazon products. So
yeah.
When you look at a monitor, it'll say price has increased 65% in the last 3 days. Like, it will tell you. And the reason
awesome.
that's good to know is because you look at that lowest price and it'll go back on sale one day. So you can hit the button that says price drop, watch for price drops, and then this Honey app will go ahead and email you. The other cool thing, I don't know why I'm talking about Honey today. I'm giving them lots of press. The other cool thing about Honey is they give you points, and I thought it was kind of a scammy thing, right? So, like, as long as it's on your extension and you're buying through, you're buying in Amazon, or you're buying one of their other stores that they actually pay attention to, they give you these points.
Do we know what the points are? Do we know what the
here's the thing. This is what I'm going to tell you. This is interesting. So finally, I've had Honey, the extension, for years, right?
Yeah.
So finally,
I have these things.
I logged into Honey, because I'm already on the extension, and it said, I don't know how many thousands of points, but it said you can redeem this for a $60 Amazon card. So I was like, what? I didn't even know I did anything. Cool. So there you go. So
free money. That's awesome.
So sometimes, you think, oh, you're going to get 2 cents. It's kind of like, which one is the one that does that? Where you like collect forever and you get like 10 cents.
For a Canadian Tire does that for our, sorry to the American friends, but yeah, this is a purely Canadian company, and they do that. I feel like I buy and I buy and I buy, and then it's like, oh, do you want to redeem your $2? Like, I'm good.
So this was pretty good. I was pretty impressed. And I don't honestly know. I don't know how you collect them. I just know that the extension is on my Chrome browser, and therefore I assume that's how I collect them.
One thing I do like with the notifications when I'm going to buy something is when it says this is the lowest it's been in like X amount of time. Yeah. So that's I do like that part when I go, okay, good. I know I'm kind of I thought it was a good deal, but it's kind of like that confirmation it's a good deal.
Or it'll say this has never been on sale. It's always this price. And I love that, because then you go, okay, I'm not getting ripped off. Exactly. The other thing I have, why we're talking shopping, don't know, but really good information for everybody, because now we've already told you about, Anchor and Logitech and Honey. And I'll give you one more. If you don't have the Amazon Assistant, you should download it for Chrome extensions as well, because what happens, which I love again, is that if you are on Wayfair, for example, and you're shopping for a rug, it'll say Amazon's Assistant will come up, and it'll say, oh, here is what you can get at Amazon that's the exact same or similar to what you're looking at.
Really?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's called Amazon Assistant. I've had it for years.
It's a Chrome plugin?
It's a Chrome extension, yeah. So
I'm in. Okay.
But it's great because it does, and that's what it always happens. So you're on, sometimes you're on some really weird shopping sites that you don't even know what they are, right? Those kind of stores, you're like, where is that? And then Amazon Assistant will come and go, hey, you don't have to shop there. You can buy it on Amazon. And I know I'm plugging them, but like, you can't beat it's going to show up tomorrow.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So there you go. All this shopping information for you today. So nobody's going to work. They're just going to shop.
Okay. But first, before you shop,
Yeah.
we have to do our mastermind today. So
Yeah.
after our mastermind, then we can shop. So
Yeah. So
I'm
it's a
very
good
excited.
day. Well,
I'm
first of all, before we even have that, our premium
networking.
members have their online networking group at 12. So that's
Yes.
cool because it's always fun to get together. And then at 2 o'clock, we're doing our Business Foundations Mastermind. It starts today. So for those of you who can make it live, it's at 2 o'clock. It's followed by a study lounge, a live Q&A, hot seats. So if you can make it live, cool. If not, for our premium members, there is a replay and you can watch it all. Better to interact,
Better
but
to be live.
better to be live. So today is the Start a Business Foundation. It's not too late to join, guys. You can go ahead and go to dothenetwork.com and join us, and you're going to get access to everything, including this mastermind. But today we're going to talk about a couple things about your big ideas, right?
Yep.
And why you don't go through with them, and why you maybe abandon them, and why you just your mindset and your purpose is holding you back from doing that. So I'm really excited about this because this foundational piece about understanding your ideas and going forward with them is where everyone falls down, right?
Right.
Because everyone says, we all have them. We're in the shower or we're taking a walk, and you're like, I have an idea, right? I have an idea, and then you get all excited and you're interested, and then all of a sudden, what do? You just go, that's not really going to work. And the
Yeah,
difference,
it's interesting. It's either you have, yeah, I feel like there's definitely a process there where you either have an idea, you have too many ideas. Even the ideas, like I have had what I thought at the time amazing ideas.
yes,
Like in the shower.
yeah,
That's funny that you said that. And then I plan it all out and then I do it and I literally get to the end and I'm like, meh.
yeah.
So no
And
one
the,
ever knows that it existed.
And the interesting thing is, for most of us, years down the road, we see somebody else doing it, right? And we go, oh, I should have done that. And there's always time for you to do it. But I think the difference, obviously, between you and the person that's making a lot of money doing it is they just try. They're not smarter. They're not necessarily better. They might not have as many resources, but they just kept going. And I think it's fascinating to watch, years down the road, that happen. And then you sit there and you go, oh, I should have done that. So rather than should have, let's sit there and today and do it. And I think, one of the interesting things that I don't want to give too much away about from the mastermind, but what the interesting things is that, people don't know what to put first, right? Mindset,
Right.
big idea, purpose, like which one are they supposed to work on? And I've got a simple little equation for you guys to do today that will set you on that path so that when you have these ideas and you're going to train your brain to have more ideas, you're going to start going through with them. Because the truth is, most of us fail many, 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 many times before we ever have success. And that goes across the board for everybody.
Every industry.
Everybody. So, and I think that's the difference between somebody that says, oh, I don't want to, invest all this time and then it's not going to work, or the person that says, you know what, I really want to go for it. Right. And it's as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's a creator, who's somebody who likes to create ideas and make them happen. The number one thing that you can that will hurt you is if you're not surrounded by the right people. And I can guarantee you that, because I can say for a fact there's been people around me that, that kind of bring you down when you're trying to do something, right? And they're like, oh, it's not going to work. Go do something else. And it's really, really frustrating and annoying. So you really need to surround yourself with people that want you to win at that idea. And that's the whole point of our network. Whether you're with us or you're with someone else, surround yourself with somebody that believes that you can actually bring your idea to fruition, right? Because
absolutely.
I can't say it enough. When somebody says, doesn't matter what they tell me, when my kids would tell me, they had ideas to do something, I supported every single one of them, even if they were crazy. It didn't matter, because you want to make sure that people feel like they can go for it. And they're going to have support from friends or family or whoever it is. But, if you're one of those naysayers and you have an entrepreneurial friend, especially, let's put it this way, especially one that fails a lot, because we've all done that. You know what? Be that person that supports them, because that same person that fails, eventually is going to do something really cool. And you're going to be the one that actually has supported them on it and believed in them. Because, most people don't. Most people, what do they say when you have a good idea? Why don't you just get a real job, right?
Yeah. Why don't you get a job? You really think it's going to work this time? Like, haven't you tried before? Like, I don't like all of those, again, those naysaying, that unsupportive. Are you really like, you put in so much time already? Like, especially with I find that a little bit more with the non-entrepreneurial
Yes.
friends and colleagues and stuff like that. People I know who'll be like, I don't get it. But I do find a lot of the entrepreneurial ones are more supportive, because they understand that they have tried and failed and tried and failed.
Right.
Fall down 8 times, get up 9, like,
Yeah.
all of those ones. Like, you just got to keep pushing at it, because you don't like, you want that support. You want to,
as annoying as it sounds, it is true that you learn from all the failings. Like, and we do it. Like, when something doesn't work, we move it, we change it around. Well, what can we do to, maybe we're not clear. Maybe we don't, maybe we're going after the wrong market. Maybe the product isn't as tight as it should be. Right. So we are always constantly looking at what we can do to change. And I think, we always have that that mindset that this is going to work, and that's what you need to do. The people, when you see people that succeed and make these huge companies, it's because they never gave up, right? They had a vision, and your vision changes. Like, look at Jeff Bezos. Like, he started online selling books. That was his vision, selling books online. Who could have ever imagined Amazon turning into what it turned into?
right?
Yeah.
Can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Yeah.
So, and it's the same with a lot of different companies, kind of like the girl from Spanx, the one that started Spanx. She had an idea, and she didn't understand what she could wear under white pants to make there be no lines and stuff. And so she cut some pantyhose and did all this, and then asked, went and did some research and realized that everybody wanted this product and nobody made it. So she's like, well, I guess I can.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's really one of the most interesting things when you're starting a business. So our mastermind today is focusing on that. And it doesn't matter whether you have an existing business or you're starting a brand new business, because sometimes, you have an existing business and it might be going really well. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I just want to, just keep growing. Great. But maybe you've had some ideas that you can branch out or do new revenue streams or do something to automate it so you don't have to work as hard. Like, those are all ideas. Ideas do not mean you're creating a product. An idea could be a product, a service, a marketing campaign, a different way of doing things, a new system. How many of us, here's the difference. How many of you are ever doing something and you go, there got to be something that makes this easier, right? And then you just let it go.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, like, those are the moments. This is when somebody with an entrepreneurial mind will take that and go, oh, what could I create? If that's like, I'll go Google it. If I can't find anything, I'll make it. And if I can find something, I'll make it better. That's the idea. So
yeah, exactly. Especially systems. Yeah, especially systems and programs and all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like people get into it's already been done syndrome.
Right.
Or it has to be out there. I just haven't thought of it. Like, have you ever like received something where or saw something like really simple, like this simple little gadget, and you're like, why didn't I think of that? But you probably had an idea or something at some point where you're going, I wish I had a thing that would hold my phone, or exactly. Like, how did we not think of that?
No, so it was interesting because we talked about this before, but the iPhone now can be used as a webcam, which is fantastic. And then we're like, well, that's cool, but what holds it up? Well, this does. And it's nothing to it. And it goes, for those of you who have MagSafe phones, it goes right on the back of your phone. We talked about this before. And then boom, it goes onto your laptop. So, I mean, who knew that this was going to be needed? Well, these guys did.
So you see things that are coming out, and you realize that no, somebody needs this item, and it was so popular they couldn't keep them in stock.
Yeah,
when
we had to have it that day. Like, that's the whole thing about cool stuff. And it took us another month before we used it.
I don't think I've used mine.
I did the other day. But you had to have it. You had to have it. And that's the kind of cool thing about that's a product that's hot, that works. It's not going to last hot and work. Like, it's
and software. I mean, how many, like, we talk about this, quite a bit, the softwares that we support, and some of them grow to be amazing platforms like Wave that we're using right now to stream. Again, when we first got it, it didn't have that particular feature. Later on it did. We grew with it. And some of the things that we've purchased have not worked out. And, but somebody had an idea to build a software to help solve a problem.
Yeah. But the cool part is they build a software, and then once they launch it and they get some seed money, right, which is where we come in, we support these guys. They get some seed money, and now they can work on making it better. Right. Yeah. And so a lot, that's why Wave, for example, surprised us. I bought Wave years and years and years ago to make videos, not to stream. Never saw that on the roadmap. We always look at a roadmap for a software company before we purchase, because we're like, what are they doing? But I just was thinking about that yesterday, because I got an email from one of the softwares that we own that said, oh, they added something to it. And I haven't logged into that in years. So we should actually go through our list and see.
We always say
it's true. What has been added, because there's so many things now that, again, it's people sitting in the company and going, what can we do to make this better? That's what ideation is about. So if you have a current business, and some of you might be saying, well, I'm a coach, I'm a health practitioner, it doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does. Because if you spend some time thinking about what you could do to make it even better for your clients, that's the idea phase. That's where you set yourself apart from somebody else. So you want to learn all about this stuff and how to set it up and how to rank your ideas, which is very important, because I think that's where people kind of fall down. They might have 10 ideas and they're like, well, I just have too many. I don't know where to start. We're going to teach you that formula today to be able to rank them so that you know where to start. Really great. It's 2:00 today. Still have time to join. So go ahead and go to Do the Network, and we'll see you there.
Awesome. All right. Hang on. I'm just going to put on Do the Network quickly on the screen before we sign off. DoTheNetwork.com.
Yeah.
See you there.
Bye.